All right, picture this. You're scrolling, minding your business, and suddenly you see 50 Cent clowning Big Meech over some DMs. How did we even get here? Let's walk it all the way through from the beginning. First, you've got to remember who we're talking about. On one side, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, rapper, mogul, TV producer, the guy who turned street stories into a whole cinematic universe. On the other side, Demetrius Big Meech Flannery, the legendary BMF boss, whose real life inspired one of 50's biggest TV franchises. For a while, that connection looked solid. Meech's story, 50's production power, and Meech's son stepping into the spotlight as an actor. It was a powerful combo, and it looked like everybody was winning. But over time, little cracks started to show. Posts online, subliminals, interviews, you could feel the energy shifting. There were whispers about business disagreements, questions about loyalty, and tension over who was really benefiting from the BMF brand. On top of that, there were rumors about who Meech was aligning with, who he was doing business with, and how that sat with 50, who has a long history of very public rivalries. That's the backdrop. Two big personalities, one powerful story, and a relationship that slowly moved from partnership to pressure. Fast forward to the moment that got everybody talking, the DM. At some point, Big Meech reaches out behind the scenes. He sends a direct message that's short and simple, basically saying, let's work. No long pitch, no big speech, just a quick line, like he's trying to open the door back up. And here's the key. He's not messaging 50 directly in this instance. He's reaching out to one of the actors in 50's TV world, somebody connected to that universe. So from Meech's side, it can look like networking, like, yo, we got history, we all tied into this same story. Let's put something together. But then 50 sees that. Instead of handling it quietly or ignoring it, 50 does what 50 always does. He turns it into content. He takes that DM and brings it to the public. He throws it up online with a caption that's pure 50, sarcastic, cutting, and funny to some people, disrespectful to others. He basically flips the energy from let's work to work on what, and starts clowning the idea that Meech suddenly wants to collaborate again. He doesn't just keep it surface either. He leans into the jokes. He implies that the actor Meech reached out to is just doing his job, acting, not living out a street fantasy. He hints that Meech might be confusing the scripted world with the real world. It's that classic 50 tone, mixing humor, ego, and business all in one shot. In a few lines, he manages to roast the DM, question Meech's intentions, and remind everybody who's really in control of the TV side of the BMF story. Once that post hits the timeline, the reactions start flying. Some people are laughing, dropping crying laughing emojis, saying 50 is just being 50, the same savage troll he's always been. They see it as him protecting his brand, his cast, and his projects. In their eyes, if you fell out with him and then start trying to circle back through his people, he's going to call it out and use it as a moment. Other people look at it differently. They see Big Meech reaching out as a man trying to work, trying to build something now that he's home, trying to capitalize on his story and his name. From that angle, 50 blasting the DM in public instead of responding in private looks petty, maybe even like he's kicking a man while he's trying to stand up. Some folks feel like, with all the money already made off the BMF story, that kind of pride and ego just hurts everybody in the long run. And caught in the middle is the actor who got the original DM. He didn't start the drama. He didn't ask to be the middleman, but now he's suddenly part of this bigger feud between two powerful figures. For him, it's a tricky spot. He's grateful for the role, loyal to the person who put him on, but he's also getting approached by the guy whose real story made the show possible. That's a lot of pressure over one little message. So on one side, you've got 50 Cent making a point. You don't get to fall out with me, move funny, and then slide back in through people on my team like everything is cool. On the other side, you've got Big Meech, who might genuinely feel like his name, his life, and his story are the foundation for a whole TV universe, and that he should have the freedom to reach out, connect, and work with whoever he wants, actor or not. In the end, that one DM turned into another chapter in a much bigger story about business, loyalty, ego, and ownership. It raises a lot of questions. When real life becomes entertainment, who really controls the narrative? When a partnership breaks down, is there ever a clean way to do business again? And at what point does clowning cross the line from jokes into burning bridges for good? However you feel about it, one thing's clear. Both of these men built powerful legacies in completely different lanes. And when those lanes cross, the fallout is always going to be loud. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Short Clips Podcast, for more stories just like this.